Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, I do want to give you guys an update. We are experiencing some technical issues right now with some of our weather computers. We will try to have your forecast coming up in just a few moments. But again, all depends on if our computers are deciding to work this Monday. So far, it's been a challenge. But let's talk about some of the news that we've been following in our newsroom. Richard Tyndall, the police chief for Greenville, will be sworn in today. He's going to be sworn in at 11 a.m. at the council chambers of City Hall at 200 West 5th Street. Now, the city of Greenville announced last week that Tyndall would be assuming the full-time role as the chief of police. Tyndall brings years of law enforcement experience to the position, with over 20 years of experience with the Greenville Police Department. In an interview with WITN last week, the Greenville native said it was after leaving the Wake County Sheriff's Office and walking through GPD's front doors in 2002 that made him realize that he was meant to serve his community in Eastern Carolina. When talking about the next steps for the department, Tyndall said he and his officers will keep their focus on violent crimes and are already thinking of new ideas. Tyndall's appointment comes after his predecessor, Ted Sauls, retired in April. Now, also want to turn to the continued trade war and now the economic fallout that is resulting after President Trump has decided that he is going to double some of the steel and aluminum tariffs that come into the country. NBC's Christine Romans has more.
This morning, the future of President Donald Trump's major tariffs in question. After back and forth in the courts, with the tariffs in place for now but the legal battle continuing. The president doubling down, posting yesterday, if the courts somehow rule against us on tariffs, which is not expected, that would allow other countries to hold our nation hostage. This would mean the economic ruination of the United States of America. The White House vowing tariffs will continue no matter what.
Tariffs are not going away. He has so many other authorities that even in the weird and unusual circumstance where this was taken away, we just bring on another or another or another.
And another front of the trade war may be heating back up after consumers saw rising prices from clothes to electronics to home goods during the escalating tariffs between China and the U.S. Both sides temporarily reduced taxes and tensions last month while negotiations went on. But overnight, China weighing in, saying the U.S. has taken actions that, quote, seriously violate the talks. Just days after Mr. Trump claimed China had totally violated its agreement with the United States. It comes as President Trump plans to raise more tariffs this week on steel imports.
We're going to bring it from 25% to 50%, which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States.
U.S. manufacturers currently import about a quarter of their steel from overseas. With this new tariff increase, they would pay more for production costs to build cars, home appliances, furniture, and tools. Economists say the higher tariff could also drive up the cost of canned goods, making groceries more expensive. Before he took office, Mr. Trump promised to bring down grocery prices.
People can't afford their groceries, and they're going to be affording their groceries very soon.
And again, that was Christine Romans reporting. Now I want to turn our attention to your forecast. Again, we may not be able to get to your full 8-day forecast, but do at least want to give you guys a look at what's going to be coming up over the next few hours and the next couple days. Right now, this is a look through our News River Cam. Again, gray skies currently, not really looking like we're going to be seeing extensive sunshine through the next couple hours, but we'll certainly see some coming up later on this afternoon. 69 degrees right now in New Bern, comes with a north-northwesterly wind at about 7 miles an hour. Air temperatures across the board right now, either in the mid-60s, upper 60s, or low 70s throughout most of the region. Of course, Roanoke Rapids right now a little bit cooler than your neighbors off to the south, currently 63 degrees. in Roanoke Rapids. But of course, on the flip side of that coin, we've got 73 degrees right now in Beaufort, 69 currently in Jacksonville, as well as New Bern. We're seeing 68 through Elizabeth City, Plymouth, and Kenansville, 66 right now. In Kinston, we've got 65 in Rocky Mount, as well as Goldsboro. But dew points is still kind of hovering around the 60-degree mark. Not too high, not too low. It's one that we're watching them, but we don't have anything that's really going to create any sort of big lift scenario today. So without the lift, the humidity is just going to be present. It's not going to have any sort of big impact on your forecast today. Not going to send our thunderstorm forecast up any higher than it already is, which right now really not all that high. Do want to say good morning to William Harris. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. Right now, the north wind, the northeasterly wind is doing us some favors. That high pressure system is what's bringing in that northerly breeze. It's going to help keep our forecast today fairly straightforward and calm. Not a whole lot going on, but further back towards the west, you do see, again, we've got a large frontal system with multiple low pressure systems developing along that boundary that will be here coming up later on in the week. So for the time being, let's enjoy this high pressure system while we have it. Also note that we're going to be seeing some rain showers trying to approach from the south. That's only going to bring in more heat and humidity. And that, well, yeah, that's going to lead to just more rain in eastern North Carolina. Leanne, time to break out the dry erase board for the 8-day. I'm telling you, Leanne, earlier this morning, again, just nothing is loading right now on the computers. Very much Monday vibes right now in the Weather Center. But let's talk about, again, a zoomed in look at exactly what we've got coming up for today. Mostly sunny skies, a few passing clouds going by. Again, this thin kind of layer of clouds we've got over us now, not going to be lasting all day long. It's going to be burning off here pretty quickly. As we head into your Tuesday morning, again, looking at sunny skies, not a whole lot to report from a cloud cover perspective, and that will again leave us with a fairly dry forecast even as we head into Wednesday. Now here, this is a roundabout way of me showing you guys your 8-day forecast, so just bear with me. But yeah, there it is. Let's see if I can I zoom in? Nope, can't zoom. There we go. 81 degrees today, 86 coming up tomorrow, 87 on Wednesday. And then as we head towards the weekend, of course, well, we just got done with a mostly dry weekend, so I can't say of course. But as we head towards the upcoming weekend, we'll see a better chance of showers, storms, and potentially even some rough storms out there as we head into Saturday and Sunday. We'll see how that whole pattern comes to fruition, but right now, nothing imminent as far as severe weather goes. But again, it's something we'll continue to keep an eye on. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update. I'm now going to go into the Weather Center and see if I can't fix the system. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful start to your week. We'll be back here coming up at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. with more news and weather and hopefully a full 8-day forecast. Until then, have a wonderful Monday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.